Hey, so thanks for clicking in. I'm Amy McRotty, your premier real estateologist, taking you into the Port Everglades Inlet in Fort Lauderdale. Woo! It's not too rough today, just a little bit. It's a little rough when we're going in the port because the water's going into a small little channel. So behind me here is Harbor Beach. That's the neighborhood we're going to explore today. So here we are in a little cluster of condominium units at the best piece of dirt in Fort Lauderdale in Harbor Beach. Very exclusive neighborhood. And you can see behind me there's co-ops and condos and more condos. We saw them from the boat. If we haven't run the boat tour on this video yet, stay on the video and you'll see all of this from the boat, water. So this one here, the Everglades House, is absolutely one of my favorite buildings in Harbor Beach. I love the mid-century design, the curve. It's undergoing concrete restoration right now. All of these buildings are impeccably maintained. The lobbies are gorgeous and the structure is well maintained, and they all have a view of the ocean and the Port Everglades. So Everglades House is fabulous. And then as I spin around away from the water into the land, you'll see co-ops, and then the residential single-family home neighborhood starts behind me. But a lot of those are also on the water and have docks super close to the ocean and out to the port. So, whether you want to live in a condo or a co-op and have an amazing view of the ocean and the Port Everglades, or whether you want to live in an exclusive neighborhood in a single family home in Harbor Beach, that's your choice here. The reason that I think there are so many condos on this point of Harbor Beach, it's really the point into the channel to the Atlantic Ocean, is because it's like the best piece of real estate in Florida. So people discovered that, and developers, most of these were built like in the 70s, some of them in the 60s. They recognized that this is a beautiful piece of land, so the density's high. They built up so more people could enjoy this view. There are even some single family homes when we go on the boat tour, even behind here and behind me and around over to the Intracoastal. But I just wanted to show you this point. This is Point of America's Tower 2, Tower 1 off of South Ocean Drive. Gorgeous, gorgeous apartments. And then I love this little yellow co-op behind me. It's a co-op. The layouts are fabulous in there, and the ocean views are not to be compared to anything really, except maybe, I don't know, Vietnam. Some good ocean views there. Thailand, I mean, we have that level of gorgeous, pristine ocean views. Ocean is over there. The amenities, by the way, with all of these buildings are high end, because this really is one of the most exclusive neighborhoods in Fort Lauderdale. So thanks for joining me on the little condo section of the tour by land. Don't forget to watch for the view of this section of the real estate by boat on this video. It's either before or after. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and if you want to see any of these condos here or anywhere else in South Florida, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Boca, Palm Beach, contact me. WhatsApp, text, email, any way that you prefer to contact me, that's the way we'll communicate. I would be honored to help you locate the perfect spot for you in Florida. So right here we have a cluster of magnificent condominiums right here. The best view in the city, really. We got Point of America's, that's 2 towers of luxury condos. We've got the Everglades House. We've got some smaller co-ops in there. We have a private beach club in here. Some other co-ops. In the distance is Pier 66. We'll drive by that later. So as we come into the port where all the cruise ships go and the working ships go and the merchant marines, we have Our little peninsula here in Fort Lauderdale is called Harbor Beach. These are some of the most in-demand and luxurious condominiums and homes in Fort Lauderdale. Running along the beach till you hit South Beach, and then you hit Central Beach and North Beach. All different videos. So we're going to focus on Harbor Beach today, Oceanage, Point of Americas, the Everglades House, a number of condominiums right here, mostly with amazing views. The price ranges on them go from about $600,000 to $4 million, depending on your view, how many square feet, and which building they're in. Point of Americas, the first tower. Point of Americas, the second tower. These were, I think, one of the first waterfront luxury condominiums in Fort Lauderdale. And even though they were the first, they have been meticulously maintained for all these years. It's a super fantastic place to live still. If you want to look at any and you're in town, just hit me up on WhatsApp, my phone, text me, whatever way you want to contact me in the comments, whatever way you want to do it. We can go inside because from the outside, you can't see how amazing these are. From the inside, it's like, oh my God. And that's the Everglades House. That's one of my favorite buildings. It kind of goes concave. It's very mid-century. Then we have Sky Harbor, another beautiful one. So all these condos, most of these condos built in the 60s and 70s. They've already been through their 40 and 50-year inspections. They've had the concrete restoration. They've been repainted. So now's a good time to look at these because the assessments are in the rear view mirror. And then when we hit the tip of Harbor Beach with all the co-ops and condos and stuff, now we start working into the luxury homes. We've got waterfront because it's like an island, and then we have dry lots. Whether you're on the water or in Harbor Beach on a dry lot, it's a fantastic place to live. We're just going to go around. See? So Harbor Beach is one of the most luxurious and in-demand neighborhoods in Fort Lauderdale. We have a few. Harbor Beach is one. And the homes in here range from about $2 million to $50 million. We'll show you some of those. Currently, there's only 2 for sale on the sand here. And then we'll go in and we'll explore the little canals in Harbor Beach. We have a fabulous sight right now behind me. Big, beautiful cruise ship heading out to wherever their destination is. It's a pretty cool thing to see. And that's the thing, if you live in one of these condos over here on Harbor Beach, you see amazing stuff coming in and out of this port between cruise ships, working ships, all of the things. It's really a special place to live. That is the Sun Princess. It's astounding to me that they float still. We got the cruise ship going out. We've got the little popo escorting them out. We've got tugboats escorting them out. Pretty amazing. Hello. A love boat, baby. Hello, peoples. Look, some of them are waving. Have fun. Crazy big, right? A lot of people on a beautiful cruise ship. Sun Princess. It looks pretty full. People are on their balconies and on the top deck and having the parties have started already. And it's early afternoon because that's what vacation's for. Hey, hey party people. All right, I'm going to turn us around now. The cruise ship is carrying on its journey and I'm still showing you Harbor Beach. Single family homes right here at the port, Everglades. See these little flat concrete tile roofs? In my humble opinion, I think those are the best roofs in Florida. Flat, they're pretty, very difficult for hurricane uplift, and they last like so long. They last longer than the insurance companies say they do. That's for sure. Now, let me spin around real quick. We'll say goodbye to the Sun Princess. Bye, Sun Princess. All right, going back in Harbor Beach. So we have multiple architectural styles. Primarily, the prevalent architectural styles are sea coastal luxury. This one here is gorgeous. We've got Mediterranean. Some people come and bring their background with them, whether it's Middle Eastern architecture, whether it's contemporary, whether it's from New England. Like people come and they build what they want to build because this is where they want to be comfortable. So coming around, coming in here to the 17th Street Causeway. So Harbor Beach goes from the point there where the Point of Americas are, winds around like a little island. In the distance is the Fort Lauderdale Convention Center. It's still under construction. Again, it's like Fort Lauderdale Convention Center 3.0. It looks amazing. This is where the International Boat Show tips off at the end of October every year. If you get a chance to make it to Fort Lauderdale at the end of October, it's wonderful weather. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's perfect. And the boat show's going on. So we're turning the corner at Harbor Beach and headed under the 17th Street Causeway, which is a beautiful drawbridge. The other appealing thing about living in Harbor Beach is that if you have a mega yacht or any kind of boat, if boating is your thing, this is the place where you want to live. You get out to the ocean super fast, faster than anywhere else in the city. And it's just a beautiful part of Fort Lauderdale. Oh, I got to put my glasses on. Sorry, guys. So as you can see, we run into the Mediterranean style, moving into some contemporary. We're moving into coastal luxury. That's pretty much it. There are two houses currently for sale on this little beach part, because a lot of the places in Harbor Beach, this is a very few that have the beach here. These range in price. The two that are for sale from 13 million to 3 million. So look at that. Two houses like very close to each other. Of course, it has to do with condition. One is this one here. Oh, this one here. That's 13 million right now, 2025 January. Over here, this one's about 3.2 million. Off in the distance, you see the tower there. It's called Pier 66. That is still under construction, although phases of it have been completed. Amazing. Marina, luxury condos starting at 5.5 million. When they do another phase on a canal off of the port here, I think there are going to be some offerings in there at about 2.5 to 3 million. They really charge all that because the amenities are just outstanding for the public when you have guests coming, and also for yourself, private for residence owners only. Amazing, top of the line amenities and offerings. You can see behind me that the 17th Street Causeway drawbridge is up, which allows the tall ships to get through. Primarily, we're looking at sailboats and other tall yachts. You just can't get under the bridge when it's down. A big sailboat coming, a super tall mast. Actually, it's in front of us. It's going in. More. There's some little co-ops, and there's even a couple of rental buildings, old Florida rental buildings, still available back there. So yeah, and there's another place just behind here. It's a condo complex, and they start at 190,000. Pets are allowed, and you can lease right away. So that's a fabulous little place to have a little pied-à-terre in Fort Lauderdale for like 200,000, and then when you're not here, you can rent it. And allowing pets is a big thing. There's more and more condos that are allowing pets now. There's usually some kind of restriction, number of pets, type of pets, sometimes the breed of the pets. There's a little canal down Harbor Beach. That's where they're going to build the more affordable Pier 66 condos. Now we're coming under the 17th Street Causeway Bridge. Quite beautiful. Now we're right behind the paddle pub. There's always something going on in Fort Lauderdale. Floating tiki bars. Here we have a paddle wheel boat that's a pub, a little bit closer to the convention center that's still under construction, but it's going to be gorgeous when it's done. Now we're coming into over here. There's a couple of great places to eat. There's the 15th Street Fisheries. Downstairs is usually like live music going on, feed the tarpons and get food and drink. Upstairs is a more high-end restaurant with delicious food and a fabulous view. And of course, it's a marina where you can get gas, buy bait, go to a little store. Up here, the Hilton. It's been here quite a long time. It's one of my personal little havens over the years. When I was in law school, I used to go there for happy hour, buy a beer, and eat dinner. And that was how I ate. So we're coming into out of the port and into the Intracoastal Waterway in Fort Lauderdale. Once we hit the Intracoastal, we can go north to points north. Lots of things to see there in another video. Or we can go left up the New River and to other downtown Fort Lauderdale and other things to do. Now we're going to take a left in here so we can continue seeing Harbor Beach. We're still winding around our little island of Harbor Beach here. We're going to go on the other side of this yacht to go see some of the single family residential homes for sale. Since we're touring Harbor Beach by boat today, we're going to focus on the waterfront properties. This used to be a great little place, but Pier 66 bought it, and it's going to be more fabulous, I'm sure. What a location. There's Pier 66 tower at the top there with that cool architecture that they preserved. They are going to put the rotating restaurant back in. That was there for years when they built it. And the developers that are building this amazing development and residences and marina are preserving that, and they're going to have the restaurant upstairs as well, open to the public, and it spins around. Fabulous. Here we go into the marina. Here's the residences already started here. Starting at 5.5 condo residences. There are multiple floor villas. The amenities are outstanding. The ability to dock any size boat pretty much is here. So if you want to come and see the Pier 66 residences when you're in town, or if you want to tour it virtually with me, just contact me. Any of your preferred methods, email, phone, text, WhatsApp, whatever way. So here we have other single family homes on the other side of the canal, various stages of construction. You know, this land, you just can't find it everywhere. So people, it's always cycling in, meaning the older homes get torn down, people build what they want to build, or they come into the older homes and restore it. And this is still part of the Pier 66 Marina residences. I'd love to take a tour with you. I've taken a tour once, and I've taken a tour pre-construction at the sales office, and I can't say enough wonderful things about it. It just goes on and on, the Pier 66. So there's so many iterations of availability for you. And on the other side of the canal, got a gorgeous sea coastal design. This one is a nice, clean Florida design. It's one of my preferences. I like these nice, clean lines. But there's Mediterranean. There are vacant lots. So if you want to be here on the water and build what you want to build, I can find you some lots. This one looks to be built in about probably the early 60s, maybe. It's well maintained. Pier 66 is still going. We got a nice chunk of real estate here. The restaurants are nearby, and they're fabulous. Just all of them. We've got every kind of food. We've got Mediterranean, Indian, seafood, pub food, tiki bar vibes, all kinds of things going on. So we're hitting a fixed bridge here over at Harbor Beach. So we're going to spin it around. This gives you an idea. And then there's more gorgeous homes over there from contemporary Mediterranean to old school. There's Iguana. Hello, Iggy. Homes and gardens. This one's for sale. I'd have to look it up if you're interested in knowing the price of this home. Get it for you. I forget. I think it's. I could look at my notes, but it looks like it needs. Looks like the seawall's new. Looks like the pilings might need some work. So when you're buying waterfront property in Harbor Beach or anywhere else, especially in Florida, I don't know much about the lakes, but you got to pay attention. You have to inspect your seawall. You have to make sure it's up to the height that it needs to be at, especially if you're going to do renovations more than 50%. You have to look at the pilings. You have to look at the depth, not the, yeah, well, the depth of the canal and the width of the canal, because when you're docking a boat, the general rule is that your boat can take up to 1/3 of the canal. It's not an issue here because this looks like a very wide canal, but in some of the smaller canals in Fort Lauderdale, you have to be careful that your boat's not too wide and taking up too much of the canal space. 1/3 on one side, 1/3 on the other side, and 1/3 in the middle, so that the people that live on either side of those boats can navigate through the canal. That's the reason for it. This one here looks like it's got a contemporary going up. And they're going to add a second story. The seawall's up and new already. They put those black bumpers out, so they may not do a dock. They're probably going to have a yacht there. So usually with the yacht, you don't need also a dock. It's a beautiful little combo, Mediterranean and contemporary. Lovely construction. There's a hidden little old Florida house in there, well maintained, with my favorite flat concrete tile roof. And behind me in the distance is the 15th Street Fisheries that I was telling you about before. Bait, gas, all the things before you head out to the ocean or when you come back from the ocean. We're coming out of a canal in Harbor Beach and going back into the Intracoastal Waterway. We're back out on the Intracoastal Waterway. Behind me is the continuation of Harbor Beach by boat. So it looks like we have a contemporary home being built right here on the point. And as you go in, there are a couple of point lots as well. And the prices on those new fabulous point lots with at least a half acre of land, some an acre, they'll run you between $30 and $50 million. But I mean, you can't get a better spot. Harbor Beach, premier neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale. And it just goes canal, more island, and around. We're on the Intracoastal and all the way up north. So check out the internet. Check out my site. Check out Zillow, Realtor.com, any of them, Homes.com. Look and see and focus on Harbor Beach and let me know if you like any of the homes there. Let me know what your dream home would be here in Fort Lauderdale on Harbor Beach. Put it in the comments. And if you really want to come down and see one, just hit me up and we'll make the appointments. So I'm doing all this by boat now today. And I would go through some of the houses with you, but these houses at this price point take like 40 minutes to get ready for us to come in. By the time you walk around and turn on the lights and get everything moving, you know, it's a bit of work involved in just showing and touring the house. But if you're interested in any, please let me know and we can make an appointment to tour the home, whether with you if you're in town or virtually via Zoom or FaceTime. I'm happy to run around with you. So thank you for taking this tour through Harbor Beach by boat with me. Here we go. We are at the intersection of the Intracoastal Waterway and the New River in Fort Lauderdale. I'd like to thank you for joining me on this fabulous boat ride with the boat tour of Harbor Beach. Don't forget, if you have any questions, hit me up any method you want. And also, don't forget, subscribe to my channel and like. Because the more you do that, I guess it's better. I don't know. So help me out and do that because that's what everybody's telling me is the thing to do. All right? So I'm here at one of the apartments at Point of Americas just to show you this fantastic view. I made it before the sunset. So look at this, 8th floor, Point of Americas building. There is the inlet to the Port Everglades where the cruise ships come in and where the cargo ships come in. You can see it maybe in the background there. That's the other tower that's also part of Point of Americas. So there's a little bit of obscure from here, but look at the pool, the ocean, the inlet. You see, I zoom in a little bit. See that working port. Look at that, gorgeous. That's the Everglades House over there that I love. This one, I can't remember the name of this building. Sky Harbor, another fabulous building with a lot of beautiful views. So here we go. Welcome to Point of America's view from Harbor Beach. Ocean right there. Nice. Don't forget, like, subscribe, call me, text me, WhatsApp me. I'm your girl, your favorite real estateologist. Formerly a retired attorney, I should say. I'm still an attorney, but I don't practice anymore. But I am out of the office and into the streets, here to help you find the best deal for you in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, or Miami, Palm Beach, or both.